Welcome to this short video that will discuss how to use the JupyterHub that is set up for the Math 1376 class on programming for data science. The main points are that you need to be on the CU Denver network. If you are off campus, as I am currently when I'm making this video, you will need to use the VPN and connect to the downtown campus VPN, which is here, the DC-VPN.ucdenver.edu. So I provided the link to get the VPN if you do not already have it. I already have it, and I'm going to show you what will happen if you're not connected and you try to go to the web address. When you click on it, and you can just click here or type it into your browser or copy and paste it or bookmark it, which I recommend, you will see this. You can't reach the page. It'll say that there must be a typo, something's wrong. No, the issue is that I'm not on. This is a private server. It's a computational server housed in the math department, and you don't have access to it from the broader internet. You need to be connected to the CU Denver network. So I'm now going to connect to the CU Denver network, connecting to the DC VPN, the downtown campus VPN. It's going to connect. You're going to see me go through this process. Oh, just a second here. So select that gateway again. Here we go. I have to sign in with my username, which is ButlerTR, because my name is Troy Butler, and then my password. So you can also use your email. You click sign in, and then you will be asked to, I have the app on my phone to send me a push. There's other ways to get your passcode to get connected to the VPN. And this information is provided in that link about getting the VPN. And so on my phone, I was just asked to approve the CU secure connection. I clicked that I approve. So now I'm on the network. So now when I go to this website and I say refresh, before I do that, I want to point out that it will work now, but what will probably happen, and I'm going to show you, I'm using a web browser that should generate this, I'm going to get warnings that appear in your browser. These warnings are there because, like I said, we are in a private, not a public server. Consequently, the usual certificates that check if a website is safe do not work properly because, again, we're on the private server. This is the safe server. It's just an issue with certificate verification. So you get something like this. Your connection isn't private on this. And you'll have to, just bypass this generally by clicking some advanced option and then say, just go ahead and continue. You might have to do that a couple times throughout the semester. Now, I would normally log in as troy.butler, and that gives me admin privileges on the hub and the ability to access your accounts. You would log in with your username and password that I will send you in a separate email. But I'm going to just go ahead and show you, I set up a tester account, and I'm going to show you just a few things about signing in. So when you first sign in, you'll see that your server is starting up. It might take a minute. It'll be not too long, actually, to connect. You'll see some action here, and then it's logging in, and now you're in this environment that's called a Jupyter Lab. Now, over here on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see options that you can click on. Like you can see the running term. I don't have anything running, kernel or terminals. There's all sorts of options, inspection options. Mainly what you'll care about is this option, which sets up your work. Now you can click on this again, and you'll notice it'll go away. It'll open up more of the screen for you to work on. There's also this launcher. You can't close it if it's the only thing open. But in here, so if I go in here and I look at work, the important thing to see is this work directory. All of your materials for this class need to go into the work directory or they will not be saved on the server. They will go away. So I'm going to show you this. You should go into work. I just have a file here. You shouldn't have anything. I'll just go ahead and delete that. And I'll point out, if you delete anything on the server, it is permanent. But let me delete that and let me show you something. I'm going to create a folder, and you should do this too as soon as you get on, called Math 1376. And within that folder, I'll go in there. I will create a new folder for the first module contents, which is about the Jupyter environment itself. So I'll create a new folder called 01 Jupyter. Now, anything I put in here, because it's within work, will be saved. And so to show you how important that is, here's work. If I were to make a Math 1376 folder here, it's outside of work. It's parallel to work. It's not the one that's within work. So this tells me that I'm within work now. But if I go back, here's Math 1376. And now if I was to create the 01 Jupyter, and let's say I made a notebook here, you'll be given notebooks to upload. But now I have this untitled notebook. Oh, let me move it to within the Jupyter, so I can just drag and drop it. So there it is. It's dragged and dropped within there. So In this folder, by the way, or that file, I can download it very easily. I could shut down the kernel that's running it. I can do a lot of things within here, including duplication. There's a lot of options for you to play around with to see this, but you don't need to worry about too many other than download. And so, and then to like upload a file, for instance, there's this option here. You upload file, you select this, and then that would go to your, open the files on your computer so that you could upload a document within a directory. It's very straightforward. But let me just go ahead and come here and again show you. Okay, here's work, here's Math 1376, 01 Jupyter, and Untitled. But this directory is not within work, unlike what I put here. And so just to distinguish it I will rename this so that it's Math 1376. This will disappear. And I'm going to show you what that means. So even though it looks like it's there right now, if I was to say, stop my server, which is in the hub control panel here, stop your server, and after an hour of inactivity, your server will stop. So this will happen when you log out, or if you just leave the server inactive for a while, this will stop. So I'll stop my server here. I'll leave. Just leave the site. I'll go back now. And as I go back, you see your server is starting up. This is my tester one, right? Everything's starting up again. And look, that folder I said that I named would disappear, it's gone because it wasn't in work. Everything needs to go in work or it will disappear. All the stuff I put in work, however, is still there, right? So any files, any directories, any folders I make within work will persist. But if you do anything outside of work, it will go away as soon as you log out. The server closes down after an hour of inactivity, and then when you go back in, that work will be gone forever. So you don't want to do that. And then I just want to point out again, like if I try to delete something, like if I try to delete this, anything you delete will be permanent. So when you go to delete, it really asks you to confirm, because as soon as you delete it, it's gone, and there is no recovery. I cannot recover any files for you that you delete. So you can't really delete by accident, because when you go to delete, it asks you to confirm it. So you better be sure that you want to delete anything, because I can't get it back for you if you delete it. All right. So that's the basics of accessing and using the hub. Put everything in your work directory. I already said that it should stay there. You should create the subdirectories, like I said, within there. And the folders is what I'm really talking about. Uploading, downloading, duplicating, moving files is pretty straightforward. You use this tab, this working tab. If it's ever closed, you want to open it, you just click that folder icon again. So I'll just show that again. If it's closed, just click there. It will open. And you can always just move and change files. All I'm doing is right-clicking here to create new folder. I could right-click to create new folders, or I can click these buttons. It's pretty straightforward, like a typical file browser. And then for uploading files, I can either drag and drop them in here, or I can simply I can press like upload and have access to my files and go to where I wanted to, let's say, upload a file like the Jupyter 1 lecture and say open, and then there it is. Now it's uploaded. They upload very fast. I could also drag and drop them, like I said. I believe that's also an option, but I won't show that here. So that's it. Those are the main points. It's a short video just to get you started with using the hub and understanding what's going on with it. On the basics, there's a lot of options here that you should play with as you start to run notebooks. So like with this first notebook, to open it, you just double click. It will open. When it's open, I highly recommend at this point to close that browser just so you have more room. You have a full screen to work on. You might want to resize the content so it's more visually appealing. This looks like it's a little too small here, so I'm going to zoom in, and I would probably change your browser settings a little bit so that everything shows up on a full page. You should, once you've uploaded this 01 Jupyter lecture notebook, you should also upload the markdown tech file with it as well. So I can go ahead and go to that now. So if I go here, I'll show you the drag and drop here. So if I just move that there, it will upload automatically. So there you go. Uploading is really easy. And then once you make edits to it, you would just make sure to save the file. And here's like a save. button here. And it will periodically save, but make sure you also press save when you're done with changes. And then you would download the file to then upload it to Canvas for submission. So at any rate, with these files, you should go, once you're in this first Jupyter lecture notebook, close that there, you should read this very carefully about what this course is. Okay, there, I zoomed out so everything's a little better. You should read this very carefully. This is just a preamble so that you set your expectations for what the course is and how much work there is to do. And then the notebook really starts. And one of the things I have in here are embedded YouTube videos. You can press this play button right here to run the selected cells in advance. If you press that button or you press Shift Enter or Control Enter, it might also be Shift Return or Control Return, or go up to here and press Run and run the selected cells. There's lots of ways to run the cells. Again, lots of ways to do things here. But if I go ahead and run this cell, you will see that there is an embedded YouTube video that I have made to walk you through the first part of this lecture notebook. And I have clickable links in here to direct you to the various parts of this notebook, but you should just be scrolling through, reading it carefully, following along the videos. Watch the videos. I have 4 different videos in this notebook for you to look at to help walk through parts of what this class is, as this is really just setting it up and helping you get used to working in this Jupyter environment. That's the point of this first lecture. So that's it for this recording. Thanks for listening, and I'll be talking to you in the embedded videos and the lectures.